Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again. I'm glad it got back on here. Let's go back to Action Adrenaline Month. This is a 2020 movie that's actually better than the movie I just reviewed, Mile 22, an American superhero film. Yeah, no, this is not Birds of Prey, and this is not New Mutants. It's directed by Henry Juice and Ariel Schulman. Produced by Eric Newman, Brian Unkelis, and written by Mattson Tomlin, and it stars Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Dominique Fishback and a bunch of other people that I got named later. If it's a Netflix movie called, and it's actually not so bad. I know some people are going to disagree with me, but I liked it. Project Power. Yes. What would you risk for 5 minutes of pure power? Yeah, a lot. This movie has an interesting premise. It's basically if you mixed Limitless, from 2011 with Robert, what was his name? Bradley Cooper and Robert De Niro. He was in that movie. And you took one of the MCU or DC movies and, there you go, and mix it together and you got this movie. I would say it's a little bit of Black Lightning as well because your lead is, Black, Jamie Foxx, who's going to be in the new Spider Man movie in a cameo, I believe. Yeah, this film is really dark and gritty, but it's also really, really entertaining. It's R rated, so it does not skip on any of the violence, and it's kind of long. It's an hour and 54 minutes, but it's not. At least it's not 2.5 hours, and it's certainly not 4 hours. It's pretty fast paced for a Netflix movie, and I do like the cast. It follows a drug dealer, a police officer, and a former soldier who team up to stop the distribution of a pill that gives you the user's superpowers for 5 minutes. And yeah, it's really crazy. Some of these people use it and their heads explode like into flames and like it's crazy. It's like the remember the extremis from Iron Man 3? It's like that, but in an R-rated fashion where these people just their bodies just completely melt and explode like freaking bombs. It's crazy. I think that this movie has definitely a better tone than Iron Man 3, and the cast is way better. There are some problems with the cast, but I'll get to that. The main cast is good. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, so he's good in almost everything he's in. Jamie Foxx, he's much better here than as Electro in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Dominique Fishback, I had no idea that this girl was in her 30s. So when she did this movie, she must have been like 29 or 28. I'm like, she's almost my sister's age, and it's weird. I thought she was 18. She's so short, so I looked her up, and I'm like, she's almost as old as Tiana. Not as beautiful, but she's a good looking girl. I do like her. This is her. Beautiful black girl. Tiana, I think, is better. But she's like 5 foot nothing and she's 30. She turned 30 like a month ago. And I'm like, really? You're older than my friend Josh? That's insane. Because she looks like she's 18. Like she plays a high school student in like a reform school or whatever, with mostly like a bunch of kids, mixed kids. And she's a rapper, which I like that. And that's an interesting backstory that they gave her, that she likes being a rapper. She also has a mom that's sick and all that. Yeah, I've been there. Um, but like I said, yeah, the movie is really well shot. I like the way the director shoots the film. The film was got mixed, yeah, from critics. They always are mixed. It got praised for the performances. The performances are pretty strong for the main cast, I will say. The action sequences are freaking breathtaking. A lot of blood, a lot of crazy melty face. There's a girl that gets locked in an ice chamber, like Elsa. She did like from Frozen, and she starts to break to pieces, like in Terminator 2. It's pretty brutal. It doesn't apologize for being crazy, and the movie is crazy. Like there's a scene where I think Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt fight a giant, and it's pretty crazy. And even the visuals look pretty good for a Netflix movie. It was criticized for the screenplay not taking full advantage of its premise. Again, if you want to see this done even better, even though it's not an R rating, watch Limitless from 2011 with Bradley Cooper. It's basically the same premise. He takes a pill that enhances his brain instead of makes him blow up, and it makes him he can do almost anything. He feels invincible. The NZT, I think it's called. Yeah, it's basically the same movie, but this one is way more violent. At least Jamie Foxx doesn't take a pill and then he's like has sex with a woman like out of nowhere. And I think the performances here, yeah, like it's really well done. There is some racist stuff in it. There's some racial allegory, like in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But again, it's got a black cast in it, guys. What did you expect? I mean, there's not a lot of black superhero movies. Now we're getting more, big thanks to Black Panther. And Miles is going to be in the MCU one day. But, on Netflix, there really isn't a lot of them. But like I said, there were problems with the movie. I think they dragged a little bit. Like in the scenes in the school, kind of dragged. I think other than the black girl, I didn't really care about this other scenes in school because it's basically the same. She goes on the same road that every other youth is going. They go sell drugs to pay for their mom's expenses and all that. But yeah, also Rodrigo Santoro is awful in this movie. He's freaking terrible. He was the guy in Rio. He did that human character in Rio, and he was also in 300. The guy with the like the freaking earrings and bald head. Yeah, he was awful. I don't know what the hell they were thinking casting him. He's Biggie, one of the Powers creators who possesses the ability to rapidly increase in size and strength. Yeah, he turns into like a Hulk monster, but it looks ridiculous. And then you have Alan, a bunch of other people like speak Spanish in it. That's not needed in the movie. That's never needed. And like I said, it's a little long. I think if you chop 5 or 10 minutes of the movie's running time, it would not make a difference. They said, although it wastes some of its potential of premise, Project Power is a slick, fun action thriller. Yeah, there's a fast pace. It doesn't take way too long for things to happen. The final battle in the third act is pretty badass because I like seeing Joseph Gordon-Levitt kicking ass. He wasn't wasted here like he was in The Last Jedi. Yeah, it has a combination of, like I said, real world milieu that gives a fresh face for fresh flavor. And yeah, it is entertaining. If you've never seen this movie and you have Netflix or you can stream it somewhere, it's worth your time. The special effects were good. It got some awards pending because April 6th is going to be the Visual Effects Society Award. Outstanding visual effects in a photoreal feature, outstanding effects simulations, and outstanding compositing shots. Yeah, the film looks great. Like just like Extraction last year, it knew how to have a slick look without it being a kids movie, and it's so not a kids movie. If they made a DC movie like this, where like Superman burns somebody alive and or like one of the villains to melts them, I'd be like, wow, that's something I've never seen in a superhero movie. Of course, they're not going to do that. Josh is like, no, because that's too dark. I'm like, again, Joker blasted people in the head and smashed the guy's head in. So that Black Superman, maybe they'll do that. I don't know, but it's probably going to be racist. But anyway, this movie, it's not. They don't use the N word, which is good. I like that because the directors, do that in a lot of films, and that's not needed. Um, who the writer also did Little Fish, which is coming out this year. It's a first time writer, but at least I give him all the credit in the world for not putting agendas in here. And the women are kind of not in the film that much, except for the black girl. There's the rest of the females are just barely in the film. They're kind of in the background. Courtney B. Vance is in it, but he's not. He's in a small role. The film had a budget of $85 million. That's less than Birds of Prey, and this is better because it has the R rating and earns it. Birds of Prey was their R rating for. They say a couple of F bombs, and the girls are treated like shit, and there's a couple of violent scenes that they just added because they wanted to be Joker. I think this is better. It's flawed, but it's way better, and it's almost the same running time too. And the visual effects are better, and I care about the actors in this movie way more. Jamie Foxx played what was his name? Art, yeah. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was Frank Shaver, and the Dominique is Robin Riley. And even in the beginning, like Jamie Foxx is kind of an asshole. He abducts her, so it's not. It doesn't go where you think, but it is kind of unpredictable, which I like that because it didn't end like every other superhero movie where there's a big CGI fight at the end in the sky. It's not freaking Suicide Squad where they have that. This is way better than that. It's a shorter movie and the actors are way better in it. And it doesn't have CGI dancing and freaking rainbows and stupid shit and horrible editing. No, the editing is way better here. And if you want to see something on Netflix from last year that wasn't completely god awful, Project Power is for you. And I'm sorry if I'm rambling. It's just I had a long day, guys. I'm very tired. But anyway, it's a fun movie. I didn't hate it. I saw it like a few months ago and it wasn't horrible. So I could have seen a lot worse on Netflix. So thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.